this year, I saw more people hustle food at events. Oh yes, we hustled food. After the event, everybody's enjoyable. I'm gonna take you away. Usually people like I saw people actually grabbing food.
I will grab it too.
Newcomers, real stories, no filter.
And zero survival guides. We're figuring it out as we go.
I remain my humble self, TundeTASH.
And I go by the name FemiShine, your favorite biker boy in the 6.
And this is
Now that we're here. Now let's get into it. Welcome to another exciting episode of Now That We're Here podcast. I go by the name FemiShine, of course, also known as Biker Boy in the 6, and I've got in the house with me.
I'm Tunde, also known as TundeTASH Online. Good to be here.
We have an array of amazing topics to discuss today. I've got on my right, you know him already, but I'll let him introduce himself.
What's up, everybody? How we doing today? My name is Gabriel. You can call me Gbenga or Gbenga ODDY. I go by Gbenga ODDY online, and I'm happy to be here.
And we have the beautiful
Adeola. My name is Adeola, and a lot of people call me Mrs. Love, and it's so good to be here.
Why do they call you Mrs. Love? Okay, we'll get to that. We'll come to that. That's a good one, right?
Yeah, really happy to be here today.
Thank you.
The year we're in December, the year has really, we've started from January up until now. But as we say goodbye to 2025, let us take a trip through, the stories, the surprises, and shifts that define the year in our homes, in our communities, and the world around us. From family life as immigrants, cultural celebrations, political drama that we had in Canada, food trends, travel experiences, fashion moments. We had the big wins and challenges of 2025 for sure, right? And I think this episode is really fully at looking at that and unpacking many of the things that happened during the year. Right.
Drum roll. So it's kind of like a recap of the year.
Yeah.
Right. Let me kick that off. Let me kick that off with let's do Gbenga. Let's do Gbenga. How would you describe your 2025 in one word?
In one word, I will describe 2025 as internal growth. Internal growth.
Internal growth. Okay, we'll come back to that. Adeola, how about you?
I think the best word that describes 2025 for me would be redefinement. Yeah, or refining.
You know what? Let's deep dive into that. Before we come to that, I think I like that. I like the way you redefined it. So what did we have to redefine?
Okay, so I'm naturally a go-getter. And when I was moving into 2025, I had everything listed out. This is what I want to achieve. I had my checklist of achievements. And I don't know what I was thinking at that time because I got into 2025 with my 2-month-old baby.
Oh.
So I guess I underestimated motherhood and I was like, you know what? I can do this 1 year maternity leave. Let me try to reach out to these goals and accomplishments. And I came into 2025 and I was like, wait a second, this is not possible. And that first week I lost my dad. And so it changed the trajectory of everything for me. But more than anything, the reason why I called it redefinement is that I had the list of the things I wanted to achieve, but I think I reconnected to myself. And that was what 2025 did to me. And looking back in retrospect, I am really grateful for that. I'm glad that I didn't mark those checklists because they were more of self-accomplishment. But I saw something deeper. I realized that, how do I put it? I moved from just wanting to tick the goal box and then finding myself, like reconnecting to my childhood, to seeing the things that I really, really enjoy. And it felt like me getting to that place of purpose. So more than just the goals, it was more of impacting myself and also impacting the people around me. And if I have to sum it up, it's just redefinement.
Nice.
I had to redefine my goals. I had to redefine my calling. I had to redefine who I am. And that's beautiful.
Yeah,
I think that should be like a paragraph in a book somewhere. The way you just phrased that. What part of that did motherhood play a role in that? Because you said something about your childhood. Your child.
Yeah.
Is that what you said? Yeah, childhood.
Yeah.
Did motherhood play any role in that?
As much as I wouldn't want to say it's motherhood, but I mean, that's my journey. So motherhood,
it
it is motherhood.
Yeah.
Motherhood would have you see life differently.
Right.
I think we underestimate how that shift happens a lot because you now start thinking for someone else.
Right.
You want to grow in a way where as much as your child is going to have other role models, but you want to make sure that that role model comes from home and you want to set those foundations.
Nice.
Yeah.
And I think that was what 2025 did to me. It had me telling myself that, what can I build? What can my child inherit? And it doesn't have to do with just physical things or monetary values, but values that will stay forever. And that's why I love to say that I'm just on that journey of building a legacy. And when you're trying to build a legacy, it has to do with how intentional you are about life.
Wow.
So
That's paragraph 2 of that book.
I think we are putting an audio book
together.
I'm here for it.
Yeah, I love that. I love that. Gbenga, back to you. You said there was one word you used.
Internal growth.
Internal growth.
Can you delve into that? Like, can you unpack?
2025 built a lot of my psychological muscles. It built a lot of my it built a lot of resilience for me. And 2025 was one of those years where, I mean, I had already realized that the usual cookie cutter approach might not be my approach, but 2025 brought it closer to home for me. And I had to learn how to go back internally, sit in my quiet place and say, Gbenga, you have to figure it out. Gbenga, these are the challenges in front of you. This is what you're trying to achieve. How do we get there? Business-wise, it was a great year for me. My events business did really well this year, and that's because I had more time to commit to it. And with that came some challenges. With that came a lot of decisions that I had to make to sometimes even prioritize myself or put myself in line with where I want to be. It reduced my people-pleasing abilities. It reduced that a lot. And I learned how to double down, stand on business, and it stressed me a lot. 2025 also got me to a place where I got closer to family. It got me to a place where I got closer, more vulnerable with my friends. So that is why I said it gave me that internal growth perspective. And then in 2025, I learned how to cut out a lot of noise. I learned how to just double down and keep on keeping on.
Wow.
that's beautiful.
Paragraph 3. So, yeah, I think the way you guys have approached this is there's a lot of self-reflection in it, right? And that also resonates with me in the sense that the year started off a little bit rough for me because I had a lot of like parenting guilt. I think there's a word called that, where I feel like I'm not doing enough for my kids. So I was burnt out easily because I was going far and beyond. So I was like, if I don't do this, like let's say I miss a soccer practice, I feel so bad, or they want to play with me and I'm exhausted from work. And I'm like, I can't give you guys the energy that you need. And then I spoke to some people, who are well versed in this space, and they're like, yeah, whatever it is you're going through right now, it's normal. You're human. Give yourself the grace. So I took a step back from that, and then I got baptized. Oh yeah, that's something I've been postponing. It took a lot. It's something that I promised myself I would do, because as a father, I needed to set example for my kids as well. Remember the foundation that you mentioned. Like, I'm like, if I do it, my kids witnessed it. They know that, okay, this is how my family runs. So they need to pass that to the next generation as well. So those are big wins for me. And then another thing was more of getting out of my comfort zone. I MC the wedding.
Oh, that is fantastic.
Yeah, so my friend, yeah.
Welcome to the other side.
Yo, bro, the nerves. I don't know how you do it. The nerves.
But people think it's easy. It's not just to hold mic.
Absolutely.
You're just holding mic.
But
Bro.
you couldn't tell though, because I was there and you hardly would
Bro,
tell
my
that he had
nerves, I was burning inside, but I was just putting up a good show for, because it was a very good friend's wedding, and, it's a very pivotal moment in their lives. So I got to show up. Right. And then the Canada event that we did.
Yes, African Summit.
African Summit that we did. You
yeah,
put
yeah.
me, thanks for the opportunity as well. Tunde reached out and said, Fabi, you're going to anchor this.
Yeah.
And I'm like, I'm going to be sitting among my peers who are, professionals. They're out there. And, I think Omojua was there.
Yes.
Some big names that are like, me. Okay, all right, let's do it. And, thanks for trusting me with that.
For sure.
And, stepping out of my comfort zone and doing things that I typically wouldn't do. Made new friends. That's people pleasing thing. You help me with that because I think I need to stop. I need to stop. So let me pass that to Tunde. How has 2025 been for you?
I'll continue from where you stopped. 2025, I clocked a milestone age. I clocked 40 this year.
Big shout out. Big
And
40.
And there's something they always say: once you clock 40, you don't care anymore.
Yep.
Right? So I think with the age comes all that. Like there's no guilt for me anymore, right? Like if I'm unable to make something, I'm telling the person straight off, I'm sorry, man, this time doesn't work for me, right? But this year I was able to get to that point in my life where it's like, okay, you know what, I'm able to be honest with people, right? And I can't please everybody, and running yourself thin sometimes also it does a disservice to you as a person, where you continue to give, you continue to be available, and at the end of the day, even your family, it begins to affect even the availability for your family, right? So I think I got to a stage this year where I'm just like, you know what? If I can't do something, I can't do it. If it sort of overlaps with other, perhaps maybe schedules I already have, I would just, politely decline. Right. This year, I will also say, as much as for you were happy that you presented at Africa Summit. For me, it was like we were able to do the Africa Africa Summit, right? So I was happy about that for sure. I'm also glad I was able to do other things outside, work, like volunteering, also going to South Africa to represent Canada, the G20, and then now becoming
a big win.
A Sherpa for Africa, for African Union. So all those were like, good. It made the year sort of good, so to speak. So the year has been great, I would say. Definitely a couple of ups and downs, right? But overall, just grateful. Really, just grateful.
Oh, sounds good. I'm going to pass it to you, Adeola.
Okay.
What's one moment from this year that stands out the most for you?
I've had so many experiences this year, and I'm trying to think. I think one of it is what we are doing today. I'm really grateful for the opportunity to be here. So if you had told me that I'll be doing this when I started this year, I would say no. And this is my second podcast.
Wow.
Great.
And
Nice.
it just commensurates with the fact that when you show up, people see you.
True.
Yeah. And I think the biggest moment for me this year would be visibility. And, when we talk about visibility, the first thing that comes to mind is people seeing you. But again, it takes me back to what Gbenga said the other time, that you had to look within. And so I like to say something. I said something last week. I said that visibility is not just about people seeing you. It's first about seeing yourself. So I think that that's one thing that stood out for me the most this year. We all get busy. We get lost in trying to pay bills, trying to meet responsibilities, and you don't just pause for a second and say, who am I? Like, what am I doing? And so I think that's the biggest moment for me. And that moment, the fact that I asked myself those questions have really changed my entire life, my entire perspective. And I'm just looking for what is more to come. But if you'd sum it in a word, it would be visibility.
You know what? I would like to just piggyback on what Adeola said now. And I would like to, quickly say something in terms of visibility about seeing yourself. People usually ask me, how are you able to build a following on social media? But what I always tell them is, you have to not see anybody online. You know what that means? Is because many times when people want to post, they're thinking, what would this person say about me?
Yeah.
And that means you are looking at them. You're not looking at what value myself am I actually trying to pass online. The moment you stop looking at other people and start looking at yourself, it's, all that noise, you just zone it out and you just continue doing what you have to do.
That's true.
Right? And it's just, because I remember very well when I started, it was that for me. You have many people, when you start social media, it's mostly your friends, your neighbors, your colleagues at work. Those are the people following you. And before you put something out, you're already thinking.
Considering what
exactly. Bro, the moment you break away from that and start to look at yourself alone, you know, that visibility, I put it on yourself. I'm just doing this and I'm sharing it out. And what happens, you begin to see that those people will actually not be interacting with you in the first place. They will not interact with your stuff. It's usually
so true.
outsiders. And then at the end of the day, when you now get to a point,
Why didn't they tell us this years ago? Why is he just telling us now?
it now gets to a point where those people that you were actually trying to, you know, please, they now start coming and say, wow, you have done very well. You know, so that visibility, I like the way she said, you know, looking at yourself, focusing on yourself, very, very important.
Wow.
Sorry, I had to go.
Oh, absolutely.
Thank you.
Because personally for me, it's more like I'll post something and then I'll just...
No.
I'll archive it after. Like, I don't like that. I don't like that. Yeah. Gbenga, for you, did this year go the way you expected? Why, and, you know, why not?
I would say it didn't go the way I expected, and I would also say it went better than I expected. So it didn't go the way I expected career-wise. So career-wise, I expected to have been able to land a certain kind of role. I've not been able to land that role. I'm still in the market. So that would always come up and be like, guy, Alpha, what's going on? Try this, try that. So that experience was very, very humbling. And it was also one of the places where I just realized that, guy, I can't allow strangers decide how I see myself. I can't allow strangers decide how I feel about myself. I can't allow strangers decide when and how I eat. So I decided to double down. You know, if you look at the Bible, when the prophet came to this woman and asked her, what do you have? She said, I have a jar of oil. I asked myself, Gbenga, what's your jar of oil? And I'm making bread. And the bread is selling.
Hallelujah.
Praise God.
That's beautiful.
Right on,
So that
Pastor.
is, so you know, the being able to make bread and now see how well that bread sells is how it went better than I expected. I remember the first podcast we did together. I always used to hate on people that did podcasts. I'm like, road mic warriors. Welcome to my YouTube channel. But when I did the first one and I'll be hosting events and people will come to me and be engaging based off I saw your podcast. Not, you're just a great MC or host. And there's always been that part of me that's very serious and nerdy. I used to hide that with being funny and hosting. So now I'm presenting everything to everybody.
That's beautiful.
Full package. Take the one you like and pass it on to the next one. You know what I mean? So that's what I'd have to say for that.
Wow. That's beautiful.
So let's look at culture, community, and celebrations. Was there any event in the Nigerian or Canadian community that touched you this year? So we can go with Adeola first.
I've attended lots of events, maybe not physically, but online. But I recently went for a conference and I think that stood out for me. But overall, if I have to think about it, the community has been great. You know, it's very beautiful when you have people around you that are also steering your growth. You can't do it alone. So making sure that you are in communities that engineers your growth is really important. So the conference I went for was my workplace conference, but it stood out for me a lot. It was more than just the annual conference. This is my second conference with the company. But this one, the speaker was so great. Like, it broke everything down to T. You can literally use those words to your own self. It wasn't just about the company and how the company should grow. And then he said something that really stood out for me. He said that your purpose is the pivot ground that keeps you running when everything is changing. And I've been running with that for the past 2 weeks since I heard that. So because life is going to change, the dynamics of things will change. But again, it still brings us back to what we've been saying, what myself and Gbenga has been saying, that you have to know yourself. Because if you don't, you keep changing and all that. And I think that another thing that the communities around me has done to me is the fact that I think it has really helped in my leadership skill as well. During the course of the year, I've had to take on responsibilities that, like I said, not physical, but online. But responsibility that had me showing up. So there's just that system of, I need to show up. I need to be responsible. And even though it looks like you are making that community grow, you're doing something to your own self. And it just reflects in every other thing that you do. But overall, I'm just going to say that communities are great. they've helped me. And days that I even need to cry or days I need to like just rant, this community are still those people that would hold you and hold your hands to say, you know what, you're good, you're fine, things will get better, and you just keep running, because sometimes you just need to rant.
That's true.
I did a lot of that this year.
That's true. That's true.
Quick question here. Let's address the elephant in the room. The economy this year. I know I felt it. I felt it.
God, I beg.
A family of 3 in this economy. It's not a joke. It's like when you're reaching for this, you achieve it. The economy adjusts. Now you need more money, and then you adjust again, and you need more money, and you're wondering like, where do you stop? Anybody feeling the squeeze?
I felt it this year.
We all did.
I did too.
But you're a single man. What are you talking about? No, these single people.
So why I felt it is because I worked harder, and based on where the economy is for everybody, charging a premium of what my work is was very, very challenging because everybody is nitpicking, everybody's squeezing. So as a business owner, this is the service or the value I provide. But this year I had to go over and above. I had to accommodate a lot of people. I had to, review my pricing just to actually be able to sometimes accommodate certain people. So I had to review my pricing, and I felt it also in the cost of living. The cost of living this year really affected the living.
Yep.
Yeah.
And the living do be affected by the cost.
Yes,
and
absolutely.
Another thing is because I work between the US and Canada,
Okay.
a lot of my US connections and a lot of US businesses broke down because of the current temperature and
Between US and Canada.
between US and Canada. So the squeezing was political, it was socio-economical, and living in Toronto is not for the weak. Also.
No, it's expensive.
It's this year it became super expensive.
Yeah.
Yes.
So that's that. So being a single man also, I won't say I can relate like you that have a family and kids to feed.
Israelites, man.
But
Israelites,
I
man.
do be having people that I support here and there, or even supporting myself. Like people had to support me this year. This is the year people supported me the most.
Wow.
Bless.
So that's by itself,
Shows a lot.
Yeah.
How about you, Adeola?
I felt it in groceries. Oh gosh. And because I had lots of family members come from Nigeria to say hello. Our grocery expenses went so high. We felt it like at some point, myself and my husband, we had to say, Dada, please let's cut down this fruit. I know my mom needs to take fruit, but I don't want to give up smoothie again. Please, this is not working. So I would say that everybody felt it one way or the other. But that grocery, especially if you're in Nigeria and in Canada, that you need your African meals.
Exactly.
No, that's
that's another topic on its own, because everybody's like, they'll be complaining that it's too expensive and all of that. So
there's a premium on the African stores, right?
Like, and I understand why, because I have friends who run African stores, like restaurants, groceries. So I'm in the business. Cost of production in Nigeria goes up every month, and your prices are set, and you cannot wake up and be reviewing the price of your jollof rice and increasing to $35. Uber is taking their cool 30-40%. You also have overheads going on. You have to ship every week. Everybody's buying from the Chinese store. That is not actually true. Because there are certain things that you must just get from back home. So those
you can't buy egusi from the Chinese
store.
Or bono.
But you want to eat oha, you want to eat ofe salad. So all those things, the cost just continue to rise. Like even as little as buttermint, tom-tom, it rose by over like 40-50% just to be able to buy tom-tom and put on the table in your restaurant, and people can just be grabbing it. Things that we don't think about that affect your cost. So there was a lot of that within the African things and groceries. Like this year, I saw more people hustle food at events. Oh yes, we hustled food. After the event, everybody's I'm gonna take you away. Please, can I? Usually people like I saw people actually grabbing food.
I will grab it too.
No, there's the tissue of please could you help me pack, and there's like, this is my own. Maybe I have 4 bottles of malt, and you want one, but no, I'm keeping my 4. I saw it this year.
So everybody kind of felt the squeeze. And personally for me, it's more like you see the numbers go up and your salary is still stagnant.
It's still there.
Bro, you see your numbers, like you're looking at your Excel sheet like, wow, this is how much you spent this month. And I looked at the paycheck like,
still the same.
How did you even make it through this month, right? Because you have to survive to be able to, you can't even think of saving, you need to survive first, right? So I felt that, and I hope 2026, they just do
It's
something.
better.
They just
Yeah.
I
do
hope so.
something. They just do
Hopefully.
something. And then the layoffs as well in the market.
Yeah.
In the
Yeah.
market.
Yeah.
The layoffs. I had a couple of friends who were just
From Amazon
Yeah.
to
name it.
Yeah.
And you are putting these people back into an already saturated market.
The market is saturated, man.
Right. I used to get calls from recruiters like, I'm like,
No more.
the numbers just went down. Now I'm calling them like,
Anything.
what's going on here?
Before people used to be able to hop, from
Yeah.
one job to the
Oh,
other.
yeah.
And they will have like multiple options and they'll be weighing it. Should I do this? Should I do
That
this?
was
It's no
me.
more. It's so more, unfortunately. The market is also saturated. You have new immigrants in the pool. You have immigrants that are just graduating out of maybe study visa to work permit.
That's right.
You have the ones that are coming as permanent residents. Everybody in the same pool, right? Trying to hustle for the same jobs, right? So it's different. And going into like the political atmosphere, right? Let's look at were there any political or social events particularly that influence your thoughts or conversations or maybe way of life? I know that for some Canadians they'll say, you know what, I don't want to go to US for my holidays, right? Or vice versa. Did you guys have something like that, or it's just like, let them do whatever they want to do?
Oh yes, I did. And because my hosting business takes me around the world, going to the US became something I had to think twice about.
Oh, wow.
Yes, the money is good, but man, I'm not trying to deal with your annoying border patrol and all those kind of things. I'm not trying to put myself in a position where ICE can pick me and send me to some
Igbora.
you know what I'm saying? And being Canadian used to mean something when you went to the US. Now they don't care. I'm Canadian. They look at you like you just got off a boat. Literally, I'm 6 hours away from you if I drive. So that really affected it politically. And then the elections in Canada also was very pivotal because there was a lot of conversations around moving from one party to the next. And because the thing with Canada is the party runs the country, not the individual.
True.
A lot of people are yet to deep that. So because the party runs the country, the party's ideology literally is what will be reflected in the economy and every other part of it. So seeing that we didn't change that this year, it just further made me realize that, damn, it's getting really rough. So yeah.
Oh wow. Adeola, how about you? Any?
Well, I don't really have so much to turn into that. But yeah, everybody, no matter what, whatever you're doing, you still feel the political decisions and the social. It affects everything.
True.
It affects the money. It affects how you view your place of residence and all that. So I think even in immigration system, politics is still kind of
big time.
so it does play
That's
a role.
That's how I
They
get
changed a lot of rules.
Yes,
Huge.
like a lot.
There's a lot of pressure from the opposing parties,
Yeah.
right? Like, hey, you're bringing in so many people, and then that pushes the decision, the policies that the current party has to really make, right? In cutting down numbers from temporary residents and number of permanent residents, they also want to bring it to the country, right? So everybody feels it one way or the other. If you're not feeling it economically, you're also feeling it in terms of immigration as well. So housing is there as well, right? Yeah, but taking a gear into the digital space, the Twitter atmosphere, we had a very dramatic occurrence a couple of months ago, right? Although I wasn't online to participate in that, but I did see it. We all know Paystack, the tech giant in Nigeria, and we know that Stripe, purchased or bought Paystack many years ago. And one of the key people who was part of that is Ezra, right? But there was something that happened online with a particular lady called Maki, and Ezra. What are your thoughts on that, Gbenga? Again, that we know everything has sort of died down. A couple of decisions have been made. What do you think overall about?
So, as somebody who has met and hosted for the owner of Paystack, it touched me a little more because it kind of put a lot of light on the organization in a negative aspect. And from the people I know and what they stand for, I know that they don't reflect those values. That's one thing. Now, the second thing is this. The internet and people never forget things.
Yeah.
So we all have to be careful about what we put out there. And putting things out there many times is okay until somebody decides it is not okay.
Yeah.
And the moment they will change their mindset, we can never, and the other narrative we can never tell. Looking at Ezra, I read a lot of his tweets. I've been following his journey for a long time since I was in Nigeria. I've been on Twitter for about 13, 14 years now. So I'm very privy to how it works. He put himself in that position based off the kind of information he had put out there, regardless of how long he had put them there. And the same people that were with him at a certain point decided to come and turn against him for their own reasons. And unfortunately, he had to take the brunt of that. Where his tweets right, no. I don't stand for anything he put out there. Unfortunately, he has some thoughts that should remain in your head or should be between you and your Catholic priest. But unfortunately, put that out there. So I hope at this point he can get the support he needs, and he can actually take this as an opportunity to decide on how he wants to move further. But looking at the old drama, it was very messy in my opinion. It was messy because the same people that cried Hosanna came to cry crucify him. And that's something as human beings we need to be aware of. I think he should, moving forward, have a change of attitude towards certain things and realize that not everybody that condones things he condones will continue to condone it. So those are some of the things that come to mind from it. And then with the Marquis situation, like, you can't be owing me $55,000. You cannot owe me $55,000.
Pay me my money first.
You cannot. I'm looking at the camera. You cannot owe me $55K.
It's not going to even happen in the first place, right?
And the premise under which it happened and the premise in which it was discussed is night and day.
Two different, very different,
Why was that even brought into the conversation? Like, you're owing me money with my sexual perversion.
No, owing me money, like, if I drag myself, nobody can drag me. So rather than him coming out to put out that information, she decided to put out, this is how things transpired between us. And all those kind of stuff. And unfortunately, as human beings, our minds can get really twisted. And the more twisted it gets, there are certain people that will be fanning that until it gets to the point where those are the same people that will tell you that, you know what?
You messed up.
Right.
So you can't be messing with people that have nothing to lose, and you need to actually make sure that you are in the right standing.
That's one of the things I'm very, very wary about social media.
And
it's, you don't know when the narrative can turn against you. You don't know who's been upset. I used to be very vocal. Back in the day, I used to go at everything. And, I just think of myself as a leftist, like, everybody's thinking this way. I'm like, why are you not thinking this way? I used to be like, but then I slowed down when I started having a family, building a career, because I know anything can be weaponized, especially in this part of the world. So I'm like, you know what? All right, let's leave the gloom and the doom and gloom part of the internet. Right? What are we looking ahead? What are we excited for in 2026? Like, is there any tip that you can give and say, oh, apply this in 2026, it should help. Like, I did this in 2025. These are the tricks that you should try for in 2026. And there's AI everywhere. There's this, everybody's throwing things. But I like it when it's personalized. Like, like Adeola will tell me, Femi, in 2026, buy the stocks. You get what I mean? So, Adeola, is there anything that you can throw out there that, we should be excited for?
For 2026, I would say be hungry for knowledge. Go where knowledge is. Be with the people that they like. So someone will say information laughing for. So be with those kind of people. Make sure that you have people that are growing around you. And when it comes to, because I'm very big on financial clarity, like you said, I don't know. If you don't know, just seek knowledge. And a lot of time we like to tell ourselves that, oh, I need to learn this, but there's no I need to learn. You learn by doing it. So take that step to doing, and it gets clearer by the day. And for 2026, what else am I going to say? Enjoy yourself. Buy gifts. Buy gifts for yourselves. Like, for yourself. When I was in Nigeria, every time I get paid, I would take myself out to a restaurant and just eat, have proper meal. And then I realized that coming to Canada, I stopped doing that. So in October, I told my husband, I said, there's something I used to do. I need to get back to that. I have to be gifting myself every month, no matter what. It's not in the value, it's the intention that makes you feel like you did this work, have this, reward yourself. So I think that is something that is also big. And one thing that I am personally trying to do is to ensure that I have systems that bring in money. Because the way Canada is, the way the world is running, you cannot survive it's very difficult to survive on one source of income. So I am beginning to think about, like, I'm so industrious, but I feel like I haven't really touched based on that in a long time. So I want to start ensuring that I have something that generates income per time. And like you said, the internet is there. There are a lot of digital products that people can sell. Look at your community and think about what you have that is ahead of what the people around you have, and then take advantage of it. And another thing that I would say is start charging for your value. Last week, I earned $150 just by helping someone with a resume and coaching her for an interview. Before now, I would do that for free. But as you're growing, as you're getting busy, as you're also growing, like learning new skills, you realize that coughing out time for other people, it is expensive. So I would say that whatever it is that you know how to do, if, for instance, I'm coming to Gbenga to say, come and teach me how to make bread, please charge me. I tell people, charge me and I will charge you. So, and I think that would make a difference in 2026. And most importantly, stay in tune with God.
Yeah, let me throw something in there that I want to give out there. Ownership, right? Own something, build something that people need. This year, so that you're aware, started my own startup, which is an amazing idea that I've been it's been in my head, but now I brought it from being an idea into an actual digital product, right? And just the fact that I took the confidence to take that away from, brooding over it, thinking about it, and actually building it, vibe coding it, and showing people to vet it. And they're telling me the market needs this. Like, this actually solves the customer's pain points. And I'm like, wow, this has been in my head for so long. So any idea in your head, this is time for ownership. Bring it out. Let people tell you if it's going to work or not. And if you are bent on, if you believe in the product, do it, build it, and let users actually use it.
Yeah, I totally agree. For 2026, it would really be that, I think, again, going by what yourself and Adeola additionally is leveraging on my social capital and network that I already have, right? Sometimes I usually do not understand or even know how to leverage that social capital that I already have. But in 2026, I really want to key into that, right? Because I find that at the end of the day, if you move with some set of people, you realize that it's just because they know each other that they're able to pull something off.
Yeah.
And I'll just use an example of one thing I tried during the Africanada Summit, right? Many of the people that came to speak, that even as far as sponsoring, like CIBC, was just through my phone, text message, because I know that there's somebody that, hey, there's something coming up. Are you able to do this? Right? And I noticed the turnaround, and I noticed how quick it was to actually have people say, oh, why not? I'll be part of it. I said, okay, you know what? Going forward, I will definitely also be available to also, people within my network to also tap into that value while I'm also tapping into those values as well through my social capital. Yeah, exactly. Is that Gbenga?
For me, 2026, my word is urgency. You have to apply urgency to everything. Gone are the days where we sit down and just think. You have to do it. And in doing it, you know what you should do, you know what you should not do. There's too much information out there.
Sure.
Do something. On a pilot scale, it doesn't have to be big. It could just be you. Do something and do it fast. Do it very fast. Do it fast so you know how to move. Do it fast so you can learn from it. Do it with urgency, because money reacts to urgency. So money does not just react to your dreams. Money reacts to urgency. So you have to.
I'm taking that word.
You
urgency.
have to. I read in a book this year, and I'm like, you know what? Urgency has cost me a lot. So now I need to just be ahead of that curve, be ahead of myself. Stand up and do it. Do it. Doesn't have to be perfect. Doesn't have to be great.
Do it.
Do it.
Yeah.
Do it. So 2026, I would say put in a lot of urgency and then don't be quiet. Do not be quiet. Sell your market. You are your biggest supporter.
Yes.
And you're your biggest marketer.
Yes.
Talk about what you are doing. Let it be called pride. Let it be called showboating. Let
Whatever
be
it
called
is. just
whatever
do
it is, talk
Loud
about
down.
it. Because to your point, if you didn't talk about what you were trying to do, people will not know. You won't know people
Yeah,
that
exactly.
And I started telling my friends, our friends are rich. Our friends can afford things.
Yeah.
Whatever it is you are doing, tell them.
Yeah.
If they
That's
can
great.
directly support you, they will
Point you
introduce
in the
you to
right
somebody
direction,
that
yeah.
can
Exactly.
do that. So
Yeah.
urgency and just be your own biggest
Supporter.
fan
Yeah.
and supporter and marketer.
I like that. I'm going
Yeah.
to steal that word, urgency, and I'll
Yes.
run with
We'll
it.
apply it.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah.
Thank you.
You can see that we curate our guests. When you come on to Now That We're Here podcast, it's just ordinary people. We're talking about talent. We're talking about subject matter experts. People
Yeah.
can give you tips. So don't miss our episodes when we post them. Thanks for coming, Adeola. Thanks, Gbenga.
Thank you so
love
much.
you. We love you. We've come to the end of another exciting episode.
Nice.
You can stream our episodes on YouTube, Spotify, wherever you get your podcasts. Follow us on social media at NTWH Podcast on Instagram, TikTok, and Twitter. And now we have our website, right?
Yeah.
Check it out. Now that we're here, podcast.com. I go by the name FemiShine. And
I am TundeTASH. Merry Christmas, Happy New Year, and I'll see you next year.
2026.
Yeah.
Cheers.
Thank you so
Cheers.
Bye, everyone.
much. Bye.